Mitchin. I'm Mitch Mitchin. I'm your host. I got Abe. Abe, how you doing today?
Good. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Really interesting stuff. So I'm excited for this show. I'm glad whoever listened to the show last time, thank you. We're very appreciative and hope you guys.
We had 30 views, and I think 25 of them were me.
I don't know if it works like that. I don't think you can run up the views.
Keep watching
by one person.
your stuff. I saw we had like 27 views or something like that. I appreciate that. We got 7 subscribers so far, so nice. I'm just happy that that's what we got going on. Anything big for your weekend? And we haven't talked in a couple of days.
I didn't do anything. It's Monday. It's weird because we recorded like end of the week last time. And now I'm I feel like it's again the end of the week, but it's the beginning of the week.
It's like a whole
confused.
It's been a whole week since we talked last.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to Target today, man.
Yep.
I'm just looking for something to rip, like basically anything that's like not Heritage or Top Series 1 or anything like that, and I find Heritage and hockey. That's it. I took a picture, put it on Twitter. Follow me at Mitchy4. Quick plug. Or you can follow us at Just Mitchin.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find anything, dude. And this is the third time I've gone to a Target, like, around my area, and there's nothing to find, nothing to look at, like, nothing to open. It's getting frustrating.
I think going to the same Target and not finding anything is the most frustrating thing but I keep doing it because
it's like banging your head on the wall expecting results.
Yeah, and it seems like, part of it is because I do buy a lot of stuff on when people resell, just because I want to have stuff either just sitting there or rip it or whatever. And a lot of the times, like, these people have that like store that's next to them locked down. Like, they know when the guy's coming into stock, what time they stock, what day they stock, up to like minutes, man. Like, they know, all right, 11:15, this guy's gonna be in there with his boxes. And it's hard for people that didn't start doing this from the beginning to go in there and start finding product, because like there's some people that just have it down to a T. Like, it's very hard.
Right away. I've seen pictures of like 4 or 5 guys just sitting there on their phones waiting for the vendor.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Like, I just want something to rip. There's kids who probably want just something to rip. And then, like, I post that on Twitter, and then I got guys like messaging me, "Hey, you want some 2020 Bowman?" I'm like, "No, go away. You're gonna price gouge me." Literally said that to one guy, because he hits me up every time I say something. I want cards. He knows who he is. He probably doesn't watch this, so I don't care.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, you want Bowman 2020? No, man, I don't. I'm over Bowman. I already have all the Mariner Bowmans I want. I don't even know what I want to rip. Probably some Prism.
Yeah.
I mean, even though people don't like the like logos and stuff, I don't care. I mean, I'm not a big ripper anyways, because I just want to get Mariners and Packers stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of Prism by me, like, on the shelves, and it is because it's not licensed. Like some of the cards are nice. Like, I saw someone pull like Haniger actually out of 10. I think it was 2 out of 10 numbered. And, it's cool, but like, I don't know if I've actually not ripped any, and I've not been any breaks for like Prism baseball, but are they not even allowed to have the jersey logos or anything?
No logos. So like, right? Panini can't have any logo. So it's like Boom, and Boom, and they're just gonna have like they have player, like they just gonna have the player's name and stuff, but no MLB license. So they have player license, but not MLB.
Okay.
I think Panini hopefully can get on to like player licenses and stuff, because I'm not player licenses.
MLB license.
Team licensing. Yep. Because Topps is killing me. I'm so sick of Topps at this moment. Like, these products that they've been putting out are all jacked up sometimes. They're either putting out too much. I don't know. I'm just a bigger Panini fan with that. And then if you went to football, I would say Topps needs to do football. I'm a whiny little bitch. That's why we have Just Mitchin. So anyways, NFL rules. Something to complain about.
Yep.
So do you want to start with the jersey swaps or those ugly face shields?
Let's start with the jersey swaps because I've got some nice tweets here.
Yeah.
That I put. Sorry, that I want to talk about. So I mean, these are like really valid tweets, right? Like DJ Moore saying like they've already played a whole game. What's the jersey swapping gonna do, right?
They've already tackled each other. They've already rolled over. Even they've already like spit on each other. Like it's all happened. And then I can't be like, hey, let's swap jerseys. Like, what's the difference?
And of course, Richard Sherman, with his very controversial takes, as always, talking about this is the perfect example of NFL thinking in a nutshell. And you know, I want to agree. Like, this is not like, it doesn't make sense to me that jersey swaps are banned because, you know, like everyone said, you've already played the games, you've already done everything that would actually put you at a risk for, you know, contracting COVID if you were gonna get it during the game. Like, you've already gone through the entire day, you're on the sidelines, excuse me, with your team, which granted you're, you know, tested and everything, but even then you've already spent all that time. What is like the 3-second, you know, jersey swap gonna do? And half the time it's not even that long because they take off the jersey, they swap, and then they shake hands and walk away. There's very less instances where they're sitting there and, you know, like talking and then there's pictures being taken, right? Like, it's not a super common thing where they spend a lot of time together, whereas, you know, like linemen are literally face to face for the entire game.
Right.
So,
and man, I'm actually like, for like very like rare thing, I'm gonna agree with you. Like what Richard Sherman said, I think the NFL does put a lot of things in the nutshell. I think they, the NFL will like take like 20 steps forward sometimes, and then they take 40 back. They're always like, in a nutshell, are thinking backwards. Like, our players not gonna be able to like dab each other up afterwards? Like, is that gonna be nothing? Or are they not gonna like get those iconic pictures of like Brady and Rodgers like going, "What's up?" Like, good game and those kind of things? Are we done with that? Because that would be the same thing to me as jersey swapping. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, it's actually, you know, those pictures are even worse because if you look at those pictures, the crowd that's around them, like the two quarterbacks shaking hands at the end of the games, there's always a huge crowd around them. Like, they're in the middle of the crowd, right? Yeah, reporters.
And they're on top of each other, and they're like, "Let me get my picture."
Right, and and exactly. So that's even worse than jersey swaps because, you know, some of the players that do jersey swaps, they don't really even like. There's no one around. It's just them doing it. There's maybe one photographer, unless it's, you know, like last season we saw Lamar Jackson. There was a lot of people, but it was Lamar Jackson. He was like tearing up the NFL, so that's completely different.
And you can't get COVID from cloth. Like, I think they've already said that. It just stays on like regular, like stainless steel and stuff. I don't think it sits on clothes.
Yeah, that I've not looked into, but either way, the whole jersey swap thing is. It's a little bit out there for me.
Yeah, I think it's dumb. I think it's so dumb. Like, I wonder if the NBA is going to have that same rule, like, can't jersey swap in the NBA. Like, it's funny. And then now they got these masks. Oakley came out with the ugliest, most ridiculous mask in the world. So I'm all for wearing a shield. When I played, I wore a visor. Cause I got poked in the eyes like a couple of times. But this, like, bottom part, all right, I get if it's like I'm looking at the picture. If it's a full cover, and like shield, that's going to be annoying because I'm one of those guys and I'm like going, I'm like, ha ha ha, and spit's flying out of my mouth. Yeah. And then they got like one with holes so they can breathe. Like, what's that going to do? Like, the spit's just going to go through the holes.
Right. So what I'm looking at this, and this drawing is a bit confusing, right? So I was reading the article about this and it said there's about 700 players that were already wearing visors.
Right.
So the visor thing, I mean, is not uncommon. Like, you know, we saw Calvin Johnson would always have one. There's other players that Lamar Jackson always wears one. You know, I don't think the visor is the issue. The mask. So it looks like, if you look at this, I'll put this picture on the screen.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Yeah. So like, if we look at it, like on the left side here on the bottom, it looks like that thing is just holding the filter. So if you look on the left, there's a little filter, right, that goes in there. My problem with this
it's
is
ugly.
It is ugly. It is ugly.
Fucking stupid.
And another thing is like, is that like, obviously they're gonna, when they talk about it, they're gonna say, yeah, it's gonna be easy, like it's gonna be easy to breathe, it's gonna be whatever, but it's also at the same time it's gonna serve this purpose of like spit not flying around, all that, protect players. But
they've already been tested.
Yeah, they've already been tested. They're already practicing all these social distancing thing. They're not going outside. They're not in contact with anyone else. And like, as much as I'm all for wearing masks in public, like I think it is something that everyone should be doing. I mean, and there are people that disagree with me. I think I wear mine all the time. Like,
I don't have a choice. Like in the state of Oregon, you have to.
Yeah.
I read a quote, like, I heard a quote, somebody say, if you can smell a fart through a mask, like, how productive is it, like, for COVID going through it? Like, I don't know. And Dr. Fauci even said at the beginning of, like, all COVID, masks don't work, but now he's wearing one. I don't know what to believe with this whole COVID stuff. I'm over it. We have 130,000 deaths, and the flu killed 80,000 people. And let's just say the numbers are false, like all jacked up. We don't even know the true numbers. So let's put it at 100,000. What's 20,000 more people? I mean, that sounds bad. Like when you put it in that way, half a billion people live in the United States of America. Put that numbers down. It's such a small number. This is dumb that we've all shut it down. I could go on another like whole like Mitch's take on that one. Like it's a political year. There's a bunch of stupid shit going on because people want to play fuck games with like everybody's lives and doesn't care. The mask is dumb. And the mask in public, I get it. Mm-hmm. I wear mine. I have no problem with it. I follow rules. I get why some people are, but you're gonna have guys in the NFL who I know don't wear masks.
Yeah,
it's not like everybody in the NFL.
The thing is, this was an alternative to wearing a mask. Like, it was either wear a mask or have this filter in your helmet, which honestly, like, if you think about it, right, like it covers your, like, this part, the front part. The bottom is probably still exposed. If I'm looking at this drawing correctly, it looks like it's literally a visor for your mouth. Like, it's just blocking straight out, but everything underneath is still fine. So, I mean, I'm not an expert. I can't say, like, this is going to work or not. But from my thinking, right, from my thinking, there's still air coming out, still spit coming out the bottom. I guess it helps them breathe a little bit better. Like, I don't know how that all works out, but
one of those masks like they wear during like the cold weather games, I think would be way better. I mean, they're probably not as comfortable, especially when you're playing like football in Florida right now during the beginning of the year and stuff. But like the ones that like come up to here, cover their nose,
and I
think that's probably the best. Yeah, cover your head, like the whole face. I think that's probably the best way to go.
Yeah.
Because wearing like a regular mask that goes around your ears, that would be uncomfortable. I couldn't get through a game. I think that's probably the best way to go as a face shield.
Yeah, the face shield makes more sense than the jersey swap. I'll give them that. And it's definitely, I think, in the best interest for everyone to wear it. Like, now, see, the thing is, now that all this has happened, and I've played sports through high school, playing all this stuff, like, now that I think about it, like, it is kind of gross. Like, if you really think about it, you are out there and, like, especially in baseball, like, you're touching a lot of spit.
Yeah, it's like spitting in baseball. Spitting's like breathing,
right? And I've never thought of it like that until now.
Yeah, I was that guy. I was that pitcher who's like, pretending to wipe it off, getting the ball, like, getting that going, like messing with bubble gum, always chewing something, always spitting. Yep. Oh yeah, I was bad.
Yeah, I mean, I even I used to crack. If you if you put the seed in your mouth, then you crack it open, the inside of the actual seed, once you get the cover out, is super slippery. So if you do the little squeeze, then it like shoots out. I try to shoot at like my teammates' ears. Oh
god, we would sit there in like the dugout and just like have like a full shell not cracked and see if we could spit it onto like the infield. Yeah, like, just stupid stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
it's gross, but at the same time, I rather like have that and not have it.
It's part of the game.
Like it's baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball. It's part of the game. Baseball's a goofy sport.
Yeah.
Well, staying on the topic of football, going into the college game, we're gonna see more of this probably coming its way once the college football season comes, if there is one. So I know some leagues are talking about that they're not going to have it, and some are.
Yep.
Like the Ivy League's canceling all fall sports. I heard they're going to play football in the spring, have fun. No one's going to watch it. Yep. Nobody watches the Ivy League anyways. But the Big Ten, they're moving everything to conference games only. So like no Ohio State, Oregon, no Notre Dame, Wisconsin. They're going to play that at Lambeau, which would have been huge. No Iowa, Iowa State. Like there's a lot of like things that are going to be like drastically changed. A lot of money that's not going to come because, I mean, I could tell you that Ohio State traveling to Eugene, Oregon to play the Ducks would sell out that whole city. I mean, already like people show up for 80,000 to go to Autzen, and now it's not going to happen. Like that's a lot of money. Eugene's losing a lot of money that the state of Oregon. I mean, people would come to Portland. It's a lot of money just lost, especially for the university. Yep. And then the Big Ten to play conference games. They're going to play 10 games against themselves. And then I read that there might be one game. So we might still get an Ohio State, Oregon. One game where they play outside their division. The power, like, how are you going to, what does that mean for the playoffs? Like, we have Power 5 conferences, but only 4 playoff spots. So whoever wins the Big 12, we don't count the Big 12 or we don't count the ACC? Like, I don't understand that. Or do you just give 4 SEC schools because they always have the best strength of conference?
Yeah.
Like, stupid stuff like that.
See, the thing that doesn't make sense to me more than, like, it being intra-conference is, you know, I sort of have been around the whole Iowa State-Iowa game my entire, like, growing up. Like, I lived in Iowa, I went to Iowa State. And, it, like you said, it's gonna be a huge hit to, like, the schools, like the program really, you know, they don't make the ticket sales. If you look at, you know, Iowa State, Iowa games, the ticket prices along with sales are insane. And the town of Ames during that game is like insanely crowded to where they have like, you know, usually during like basketball season, football games, they'll have police out there like directing traffic, but that Iowa game is a whole another monster.
Oh yeah, because it's a battle for the state.
Right, and see, that's the thing. Like, why would they not allow? Isn't Iowa traveling from Iowa City to Ames, Iowa to play Iowa State? That travel is a lot shorter than.
Did they play Rutgers this year?
Rutgers or Iowa, even Ohio State, even, you know, any other like Nebraska. Whatever Big Ten, is Nebraska in the Big Ten? Yeah, right?
Yeah, Nebraska's in the Big Ten. Yeah, so then you can travel all the way to Rutgers, New York, from Iowa City, Iowa. It's perfectly acceptable, but you can't go in-state. Yeah. It's just, Iowa State should be in the Big Ten anyways.
Yeah,
I think these conferences are all messed up. I'd really like to just see 4 big, power-loaded conferences, and then have some of the smaller ones that we already have just loaded up. Have them play in conference already.
Yep.
And go that way. I mean, even like Notre Dame and Wisconsin, like that game would be huge. It was supposed to be played at Lambeau. It's supposed to be played at Lambeau, which is already hollowed ground. You got 2 very historic colleges facing each other.
Yep.
I think it's one of the first times they've ever played each other in like a very long time. And they're both very good teams. That's another I can't talk today. Another issue. It's just they're gonna lose money. I don't know. Like, you think about it, like the Big 12. I mean, there's not 12 teams. Like, is that going to be the same as the Big 10, where you have to play all 10 teams?
Yeah.
Or like the Pac-12? Like, how does that work? Do you play all 12 teams and play 11 games?
Yeah.
Like the Big 10 has more than 10 teams, anyways. They have like 13.
Yep.
And then you have the SEC. Like, how does that work? How does the ACC, like the playoff format, or like a 4-team playoff's not going to work when you have 5 power schools?
Yeah.
And then, like, say Boise State wins all their games again. Like, are they just not going to be able to play for a national championship? Yeah. I think if you're going to make it all conference, you're going to have to open the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is why I say we go 8 teams. You take Power 5 conference winners. You take like 2 out of schools, like say if you got like a BYU or like like Notre Dame goes on like has a great run, or Boise State. You take like 2 of those teams, put them in there, and then one like SEC like Georgia or something that didn't win or something like that. 14 playoffs, stupid, especially in a move like this. Like, how do you even call a national champion?
Yeah. I mean, like, just within the SEC, it's just SEC just ruins this entire thing, right? Like, one team could literally just the last place team in the SEC could potentially beat every other team in every other conference that comes into the playoffs. Right. So it's really, you know, either you got to split those up because like it honestly just doesn't make sense. Like, there's going to be one, it's going to be like the NBA where there's the West and the East, and the West is, you know, like always good, and then the East is like, okay, like,
oh, you have like the Bucks?
Yeah. And so it's not going to be a toss up. It's not going to be interesting to watch because whoever comes out of the SEC into the playoffs is just going to smash everybody.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, when I like said the 8 teams, and then like you were talking, I was like, gosh, well, you got LSU, Georgia, Alabama, and then like even like teams that aren't that great, like Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm missing a bunch of teams. I know that because I don't.
Let me look it
the
up
SEC is SEC. I mean, it's where the best football's played.
Yep.
I hate to see that as a Big Ten guy. I like Wisconsin. I mean, I'm not diehard Notre Dame guy, so I don't really have a conference legion. That's why I take the Big Ten.
Auburn,
but
is in.
Yeah, SEC, Auburn,
South Carolina,
War Eagle.
We saw.
Yeah,
Texas,
South Carolina,
Vanderbilt, Florida.
They don't matter. They can't win football. Hey. Vandy. Talking about Vandy, Jay Cutler went to Vandy. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Laziest quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, it was in the NFL. He's getting divorced. So then, still talking about. I feel like everything we talk about sports has to go with COVID.
Yeah.
We'll jump over to the MLB. Yeah. Head umpire Joe West. What do you think about these comments, man? I mean, they're pretty talking. We could have put them with the NFL with some of the stuff we were just talking about. He's quoted here saying, "Those statistics aren't accurate. I don't care who's counting them." He told USA Sports Today. When country music singer Joe Diffie died, they said he died of the coronavirus. He had stage 4 lung cancer. The coronavirus may have just sped up his death, but let's be realistic. I mean, I agree with him. Like I said earlier, like, we don't really know the death toll. They're saying 130, 140,000. But if, like, say I have coronavirus, but I go jump off a bridge and I die, they're going to say coronavirus killed me, but in reality, it was I jumped off a bridge. That's how they're counting cases, and it doesn't.
Are they counting it like
sense.
that? Do we know?
Yes, some states are counting like that. It's because it's federal money. Because every coronavirus case you get money for it. I mean, I was just watching a video on the YouTube, and NBC had one of their like reporters go in and stuff, and like say he had the coronavirus. The dude got tested 5 times.
Okay.
5 times. How many of those do you think were positive? None. Not a single fucking one. He said he had COVID. And he still thinks it. He still on his Twitter goes, "Oh, I had COVID." Either those tests don't work now, or like we're just lying and we got more fake news going around this world.
I did not know
I'm
that
with Joe West.
This was actually happening. I mean, see, this is another thing. Like, I've been seeing this on Twitter too. Like, people have been saying like the death counts have been inflated and everything. And I mean, I agree to a point. Like, it's definitely like states have definitely, if it is, I wasn't aware of that, but if states are getting like benefits, they'll reap all of the benefits that they can, right?
Yeah, like there's plenty of ventilators. Right. This is all a political thing.
And the thing with like the lung cancer being accelerated by coronavirus, like I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him. Like, yeah, it was probably gonna be the lung cancer that kills him, but I think it's still technically attributed to Corona. Like, it definitely accelerated it, but I don't think that it's fair to say that it's the lung cancer that killed him. Like, I think it's perfect. It makes perfect sense to me that it's it's the Corona that killed him. I don't see why that doesn't make sense. But it is the Corona that killed him. Like, he could have survived the lung cancer, but
no, he's gonna die anyways, Abe. He's gonna fucking die anyways. Like, he has stage 4 lung cancer. He's gonna die. Like, if he gets the cold, he's gonna die. 80,000 people died from the flu. Like, so now every time we have a big flu epidemic pandemic come out, like H1N1 hits, we're all gonna shut down the world again. No, you get sick and you go through it.
See, but obviously H1N1 was not like, it wasn't like at the scale that Corona has been at, right?
Did it happen during a political?
It didn't.
Like
a
political election season. It didn't.
No, it didn't.
No. And not in an election when like the other side hates the sitting president as much as they do.
I definitely agree with you.
This is all a political
thing.
Bullshit.
It plays into it for sure. But I think it's to a point.
I have to get my temperature checked to get a fucking haircut. Like, come on.
I mean, I don't think that's wrong though. Like, it's not that. Was it that big of a inconvenience for you to, like, all right, I'll stand here. They're gonna beep the little gun on my head, and then, like, I'm gonna go in and get a haircut. Like, was it really that big of a deal?
No, it's like.
Yeah, exactly. See, it's not.
But they can't do my beard. But that's the frustrating thing. They can shave my head, but they can't do my beard. Like, by the time I'm gonna be able to get my beard done, it's gonna be down to my belly button.
Maybe it'll look better. Maybe you'll like it. It doesn't look bad now.
No, this is like the perfect like area where I like it.
Yeah.
It starts getting longer. I have this bald spot like right here.
Yeah.
And it'll start looking shitty. It makes me look fatter the bigger it gets too. I don't need help with that.
I don't think so though. I think it looks nice. See, like, I can't even, like, if you look at mine, like, I have this massive bald spot right here.
Yeah.
I can't even. This is all I grow.
It's okay. At least you have beautiful hair. Like, I have to, like, cut my hair because I'm balding and it falls out. I have to keep it all short. Like, I could grow the meanest mullet in the world. Don't get me wrong. The back of my head's, like, just grows. Thick, annoying hair. And the top of it's like, yeah, I don't feel like doing my job.
I mean, yeah, even my dad, like, he's, I mean, granted, he's not that old. He just turned 50. So,
okay.
He's got a ton of hair still. Like, he has barely any hair loss. So I've got good genes for hair, but, like, mine, I've got that curly, thick, like,
my brother does too.
Hair.
My dad. Yeah, my dad has great hair. My brother has great hair. Neither one of them can grow a beard. Like, my brother's on, like, all the beard treatments and stuff. Like, taking, like, the supplements and trying to grow it, and it nothing. Like, he's like, I can't even grow a mustache. And then I'm over here, and I go, dude, this is, like, 3 months old.
See, but
for
you, like, even if you shaved your head off, like, the beard would balance it out.
Yeah, I've shaved my head. I look mean as fuck, people say. Or I look crazy. Like, I'm like, hi. I'm already, like, insane.
All right, well, let's move on.
Off topic, like normal on Just Mitchin.
Okay,
anyways,
so are they going to force... I guess we can circle back on this. Okay, the guys with really big
Joe
beards...
West gonna wear a mask?
Okay, is Joe West gonna wear a mask?
And the thing is funny with Joe West is he's an at risk. Like, he's high risk to get COVID because he's older, he's fat, and he probably has diabetes or something. I'm just saying because that's what happens when you get fat and old. I think Joe West is chasing the record for most games ever umpired. He's 65 away. There's 60 games. He'll probably get some playoffs. He could hit it this year if he wanted to.
Yep.
And I think it's just Joe West. He's not a lot of people like him. He's outspoken. He's hard-nosed. He's going to do it how he wants to do it.
Yep.
They even asked him, Joe, you going to sit out? And he said, hell no. This is my job, and I'm going to continue doing my job. He just has that old school mindset. He's annoying and says dumb stuff. Could definitely change how he umpires sometimes, but I'm a Joe West fan when it comes to he's gonna work.
Just
and
a
it
person
sucks, and
as a person and not as an ump.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's just old. He's old school mentality.
Yeah, I saw
even
I saw a video of like a little league game, I think it was. Somebody on Twitter posted it, and they don't have home plate umps. They're playing with, in like T-ball, they have like the ump behind the in between the second baseman and the pitcher. They had that. I mean, it was a great, I don't know how it works. I mean, for 12-year-olds,
it'd
like
be
little league,
so
whatever,
hard.
but
Man, I don't know. They still throw some junk. So my stepdad actually umpires. And he's like Joe West's age. I think he's 65, 66. Mm-hmm. He umpires. And Saturday he had a game where like it's an old man's league. I could almost play in it. It's 30 and up, and like Darwin Barney, who played for Toronto, Chicago Cubs Gold Glove winner, plays in this league. So like it's top talent. Mm-hmm. And of ex-pros and ex-college players, and he has to stay a foot away from the catcher. My stepdad came home with like a big bump because he took a foul ball. Now he can't, because you usually have the catcher to protect yourself, and now he doesn't. So like, there's some goofy rules. I bet in the MLB they'll still be right up on your ass where you can feel their dick pressing against you. Like I think that's still. What the fuck did I just say? You'll still like it's just gonna be the same game. Like you got some players wearing masks. I wonder if umpires will. I think at this point, you do what you want to protect others, because the mask isn't for you. The mask is for everybody else.
Yeah.
For other people. So if you want to be selfish and not wear one and be an umpire and be right up on a catcher's ear the whole entire time, that's your call. You have the right to it, unless the league comes and says they'll have to wear a mask. I think they will. I mean, I've seen some, I think, on some of the inter-squad games. I know the umpires, how they're getting their training going. Like to get ready for like the season, and usually they have spring training and they get their games in. They have 30 umpiring crews already at all the summer camps, working the grounds and stuff.
Okay, so
I think that's how they're getting guys.
Nobody's coming out or in from that place. Yeah.
So they're already quarantining too. Mm-hmm. COVID's interesting. And then it's Monday, so of course we have more big news. Washington Redskins are going to change their name. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I do. It's a racist name. It definitely is. Redskin, you're talking about indigenous people's skin and stuff. The thing that drives me nuts is like, it never came. From what I've read, the Native Americans didn't come out and say this name's racist to us. What came out was a couple white dudes said this was racist and changing this, and it's driving me nuts that people that are not of color are coming out, and like white people are coming out and saying, I find this offensive. I think it's offensive to minorities, so I'm gonna like implement it. Let the minorities speak for themselves and see what they think of it. Because I've seen the Navajo Nation come out, they absolutely hate the name, but then I've seen the other Native Americans come out and say the name doesn't offend them, they take it prideful. Like that's part of their heritage too. Like it's something that represents them. So what are the Washington team, because you can't call them the Redskins anymore, what's Dan Snyder gonna do? Are they gonna still, I heard that it's gonna be no Native American like lineage at all to the name, and I think that's even wrong. I think you could do like something that so represents. I've heard like the Washington Red Tails, like for talking about the pilots and stuff. In World War II, I've seen Washington Warriors. I've seen and they're keeping the colors. So I don't really know. I mean, I'm not Native American. I think I have a little bit in me. I don't find it offensive, but that doesn't mean other people aren't going to find it offensive.
Yeah.
But how far do we go? Do we get rid of all the native names? Do we say, like, the Cleveland Indians is racist? Do we say the Chicago Blackhawks, the Portland Winterhawks? I mean, all these teams that... None of those names are derogatory. I mean, the Blackhawks are named after Chief Blackhawk. And the Winterhawks took their name from the Blackhawks. And then you got the Cleveland Indians. Like, Indians, that's not an offensive term. They are... We call them Indians.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Like,
the thing is, I don't have my thinking on this is like about how this came about is that people are not people who are minorities, I guess I can speak on this a little bit easier.
Yeah, you totally could. You are a minority.
It's easier for someone that is not of color to bring up topics like this, which, you know, I don't know if that's necessarily true because, like, I'm in a weird place, right? Like, I grew up here, so I'm an American citizen. Like, I grew up here. I've been, you know, consumed by like the whole American culture my entire life. I went to school here. I ate the cheeseburgers. You know, back in Nepal, we don't eat beef. You know, I eat the cheeseburgers. I eat beef. I eat all this stuff that
You don't eat beef back in Nepal?
No, it's the national animal.
You couldn't live in Iowa and not eat beef.
Yeah, right. So it's you know it's like my parents to this day have never had beef, and you know
Okay.
that's true for most Nepalese people. But you know, like when you're like 9 years old in the elementary school cafeteria and they're serving cheeseburgers, you're not gonna say no. I didn't say
Right.
no. I mean, like it's great. Um, but you know, I'm in that weird place where like I I have like that American like mindset to where, you know, like I am American. I'm able to speak out and like I can do this because I've grown up. Like I don't have an accent. If you talk to me on the phone, there's no way you'd be able to tell I was anything
No.
but American, right? Like no way.
Right.
And like especially growing up in the Midwest, like I have that like perfect TV American accent. And it's but at the same time, like, you know, I'm still in that like foreign culture. Like there's still stuff that I do that, you know, is from Nepal. Like, so for me it's easier, but for Native Americans, I don't know how consumed they are with their, I know they're very prideful of their culture. Like there are a lot of people that are very into it, and I don't know if they're able to identify as American necessarily to be able to speak out and say that. And I think that's why people have like gone into this thinking like, okay, like we have the I don't know, like a, I don't want to call it privilege because I don't think it's privilege. I think that word is grossly misused. And but like they have like that different sort of like, fuck, I don't know what the word is, but
Yeah,
that
I
different
get what
thing
you're
where
saying.
they're able to like, you know, talk about it more
They're
comfortably.
allowed to speak out. I mean, Native Americans been on this land long before any of us came on. And
Right.
I mean, that's a whole
different thing.
conversation we can have about how that went.
Yeah.
I think they're just as, I think they have their heritage and they follow. So it just depends on the tribe.
Yeah.
They follow the way of the old people and their heritage and everything. And I think they're still pretty Americanized. At the same point, you have to be. If you're living like they live on, a lot of Native Americans live on the reservation, but like if you're gonna go and buy your groceries, you're going to Walmart. Go into Safeway, you're going to some kind of convenience store. I still think those are either on our native land or close to it.
Yeah.
I mean, especially their biggest incomes come from casinos.
Yep.
So I think there's definitely that. I think maybe it could be part of the reason they didn't speak out. They've already been so pushed down and oppressed so much that they're like, whatever. But I know some people don't. Some natives are like, it is what it is. And
Yeah, and that mindset is not uncommon between among like, you know, even people that I know, like adults, as far as I know, like they are like in a way like, you know, they don't have the same mindset as like people my age that came from another country, because like to them like this isn't really where they're from, right? Like for me it's like, yeah, this is like, I would be more of a like an outcast in Nepal than I am here. right? Like, which is weird to say because, you know, I have a Nepalese name, like a very foreign name. I just look, you know, Nepalese. But if I go there and when I speak the language, like it's very, very like apparent that I don't live there like all the time.
Right.
And it's interesting because like for the natives, like, you know, they have their own language, but at the same time, like they grew up like so consumed with like being in America too. So I don't
They
know,
definitely
like,
have like that weird. It's like a country within a country.
yeah, right.
Because like it's almost like I would say for you like it is like because you definitely got more Americanized. But I know plenty of like people out here that what's big out in Oregon is the Hispanic culture.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of kids like growing up with like who didn't start speaking English
Mm-hmm.
till like the second grade. Like the first time they ever heard it was when they went to school in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And that's all they've ever been around was like Spanish and stuff. So I get like definitely living in. I don't get it because I've never experienced it. I don't want to say that because that'll get me in trouble. I've seen it. I kind of understand it. Like growing up somewhere that's you're in America, but you don't really live in America. Like in that same way, like you very much do your traditional things. Mm-hmm. I have friends that are Korean, like. You go to their grandma's place, like, she's lived here for 30 years, still doesn't speak an ounce of English.
Yep.
Like, she very much is in her own world, and, like, her own world. That's why, like, when you go to certain parts of, like, New York, there's Little Korea. Mm-hmm. Boom, everybody there is Korean. Yep. I mean, I don't find that racist. I find, like, people of the same ethnicity and stuff are going to go group together.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
I mean...
It does come down to comfort. Like, 100% comes down to comfort.
I mean, I'm cool with, like... Because I live in Portland, such a diverse area. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of people are white. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say Portland, you see a lot of minority. I mean, you see a lot of Hispanics. See some African Americans. But for the most part, it's pretty white out here. But you do see a lot of the LGBTQ and the difference with that. Mm-hmm. And, like... So I'm very much, like, got that diversity. But you go to some places in, like, the Midwest. You go to some places in Iowa. Mm-hmm. Like, you go to a football game, everybody there's white.
Yep. That's how Iowa State is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how Iowa State is. That's how, like, we talked about, like, Kiwani. Like, I have my grandparents adopted African-American baby. He's, like, 20 now. But, like, he's probably the only black kid in Kiwani.
Yeah.
Like... I probably was the only black kid playing football. I think they had a couple, but like it's like out here it's not like you have a few like it's all mixed. It's one big mixing pot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go to Montana, the Iowas, the North Dakotas, like it's very much not like that.
Yeah, I mean, we got a little bit off topic there, but like I guess the point is,
I think it was a good discussion to have to go up topic with.
Yeah.
But to wrap it up, I have one big Mitchin complaint. Drove me nuts. I know you PC him. I think he's the most disrespectful player in the NBA with signing autos. Cam Reddish. I wish we were big enough to like interview him. He'd probably like just get off the call because he'd be like, this guy's an idiot. So I was seeing somebody posted on Twitter and it came up like, have you seen this auto? And I was like, what is that? He drew a line on the dang thing in multiple of them. And it's out of National Treasures, right?
It's out of Court Kings, which is also like pretty pricey. Like it's like
pretty pricey.
I think 10 cards comes out of it, and it's like in the 300s, 400s.
Yeah, and you're just literally signing a line. Like what? Like you can't even do the CR.
Yeah.
Like, you're that lazy. I mean, I get a lot of guys sign a lot. Probably the guy who signs the most is Mike Trout out of baseball, and probably the most who signed this year out of anything is Zion. Zion still can do a ZW. His autograph doesn't look
Zion
terrible.
has a nice, like a cursive auto.
Yeah, I would say like a nice initial autograph, like that, because that's what a lot of these guys have gone to is just their initials. You don't get guys with like the Edgar Martinez or like the Ken Griffey Jr. And I'm only saying Mariners players because I'm looking at an Edgar right now.
Mariano Rivera.
But like really even like the Yogi Berras, like you get the nice ones. Like up on the screen, like show your. Do you still have that Reddish auto by you?
I have it right here.
Like even that's like his nice auto.
There you go. Yeah, that's
like,
not bad, right? That looks okay. Like, I mean, I've definitely I have some other autos, not Cam Reddish autos that are like definitely. You know, I mean, we all know, like, we all have autos that look really nice. And, I mean, I don't know what it is about Cam Reddish. Like, I
Entitled.
I mean, yeah. He's a younger guy. Like, he's not... as
Dookie.
yeah, he doesn't care as much. Like he's not been around enough. Maybe it got to his head, you know. But at the same time, like I wanna bring up like a different perspective on this. Okay, so
Okay.
I was watching in the Phil Hughes episode that JB did,
Okay.
and in it they talked about autos. Like it was an interesting conversation that they had, where Phil was talking about in his rookie years, I think 2004 to 2009. He mentioned he signed.
Yeah, when he's down in the minors.
Yeah, he signed about 6,000 a year.
Yeah,
That was
he signed
back.
a lot.
That's back in 2004. Okay, so that's
4.
like when we're not. This is not right now. Like obviously, you know, they even talked about it, like the number of autos that people are signing now is going way up, and you know,
Zion probably signed 20,000
Right.
this year.
and the thing
They're
like
still going for like thousands of thousands.
yeah,
of dollars.
and they're paying, you know, they're paying these autos like, you know, $20-$25. Obviously, like there's Mike Trout definitely gets paid more because he's
Right.
better.
Mike Trout.
You know, yeah, even Mike Trout. Better players get paid more, but you know, is it if you gave someone, say Cam Reddish, he signed a lot of autos. I've seen people pull a ton of his autos, right?
Right. He signed a lot this year.
Yeah, and
Most top rookies do.
yeah, and the thing is, like, do you after a while, like, you get a little annoyed with this, I would assume, right? Like you're signing 1,000 cards, it does get a bit annoying. Like I understand,
You signed the contract. Like
I
you signed the
understand.
contract with Panini.
I get it. I get it that it's wrong, but is it also that, you know, do the quantity of these autos, do they need to go down for this issue to be controlled? Or is it only
Probably.
like I haven't seen, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen that many bad autos. It's been the Cam Reddish one that's been the worst.
No, I mean Justice Sheffield, like he's signed a lot. I don't like his auto. I think it's sloppy. It's just a J and an S. Sometimes it's really bad.
Yeah.
My favorite IPCM is Taiwan Walker. I'll have to like take a picture. He probably has like like one of the funniest autos. I have 6 different Taiwan Walker cards from 6 different products, and they're all different autos.
Oh really?
Not one's the same.
Okay.
Like it's like a T. Sometimes it's a T Walker. Sometimes it's a T dot scribble. Like it's the funniest thing. And I might have to like tweet him out and ask him about it because he does like communicate with fans. Like I got him to reply to me on Saturday night about like the UFC fights. So I'll definitely have to ask him about that. I'll have to get back on that one. But like there's guys who like their signature constantly looks the same. And then
Yeah.
you got guys who like their signature gets worse as it goes or better. Like I think Trout's signature has gotten better throughout his career. And like we'll see what Zion's like. Does it get better or worse, or does Zion just stop signing after his rookie year? Because we see guys who do that.
Yeah.
We see guys who like they sign a bunch their rookie year and then like their vet autos are harder to find.
Yeah.
Which that makes sense. They're making more money. They've already have 1,000 autos out there. I think I would definitely like to see less autos of players. Of players. I mean, like, of the crappy players. Like, have everybody sign the same amount of autos. Not one guy signing more than all the other people. Because then it's so annoying when you're, like, opening up a product and you pull Joe Schmo 15 times. And, like, you're chasing that Zion. And I get that, like, that it makes the Zion so much better. And there's going to be not as great players signing. Because that's just part of the products. Like, Bowman couldn't exist if you didn't have prospects that nobody ever heard of.
Yep.
But that prospect should sign as many as, like, a Julio Rodriguez or a Jared Kalinick or a Wander Franco. I gotta stop being such a homer. But, like, those kind of autos, like, should all be the same. They should all sign 1,000. Boom. Like, do you really think, like, Dale Murphy signed for a product this year? I think it was Tribute. And do you think Dale Murphy's going to sign, like, 1,000 cards? Like, the vet autos are so much harder to find. Like, no, you're going to get these rookies to do it. So if you're going to do rookie autos, you should do 1,000 of each. Bam, bam, bam. Have all the players you want. Sign the deal. Have them do 1,000 of each. That's plenty. Especially now they just do sticker autos. They just slap it on.
Yeah. And
on the product.
That's, the part of me wants to
and
say,
that means
like,
they're all numbered. Then that means they get to all be numbered.
Yeah. And that, I mean, another interesting thing that, like, Phil talked about was that I don't know if this is on this card, but yeah, so, like, he talked about, like, how on the actual, like, contract or whatever, I'm not sure exactly what he was talking about, but there's like a little guarantee that says there is someone at the place of signing that's, like, watching them sign to make sure it's, like, authentic.
Right.
But that doesn't happen. Like, apparently there's a thread on Blowout about this. Like, it doesn't happen. And that's interesting, right? Like, because then if there was someone, then they could sort of, like, look and be like, hey, that's fucked up. Like, do it again. Right?
Right.
It's definitely not going to happen. And I don't see it happening, like, that being regulated at all. So I don't think.
What do you think the people at Panini were like when they saw that line?
I mean, I don't think they give a shit. They
made the money hard.
The guy, this is how it went. The guy picked up the card who was packing it. Right? Like, I don't know if the machine packs or whatever. Somebody has to look at it before, I'm assuming, like, just to make sure it's signed, right? Dude looks at it. Gay. He's like, oh, yeah, all right. And then just fucking tossed it in the thing. Like, he doesn't care.
He probably told his buddy, he was like, dude, I got a Cam Reddish card that's got a line on it. He goes, sorry, Porson. Like, whoever gets it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still going to be, like, if Cam Reddish becomes a Hall of Famer, like, that card probably will go for more than other of his rookie cards because it's unique.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, unfortunately, that it's just a line, and I could even done it.
Yeah.
Like, a baby could have done that signature.
Yeah, it's a one-of-one.
Yeah, it's just a line. It's a 1-of-1. Yeah. eBay 1-of-1.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still collect him. I think he'll be good. He's young. He's on a good team. I mean,
I collect Taiwan Walker. I mean, no offense, Taiwan. If you ever watch this, I mean, Cam Reddish is the first round pick. Taiwan Walker's on the back end of Tommy John. So we'll see. There's definitely players that we all collect that you go, oh, I collect him because his autos are $3, not because he's this great player.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
I just think I would rather have it that every auto is numbered. So much better than, like, getting just a base auto and there's no numbering. It's still special because it's an auto. But, like, let's start them at $4.99 and then you move down each color. Like, then you go to whatever next, $250, well, 100, 150. Then you go to 99. Then you go to 75, 50. You still get 1,000 autos out of there somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you do that for every product or how you do it. I mean, even if it's cool if, like, autos are only numbered to 99. Like,
that would be,
you just get more players to sign.
Better. That would be way better to pull. But I mean, the part of it is also, like, there's certain certain boxes have, like, okay, 3 guaranteed autos, 3 guaranteed relics, 1 a guaranteed RPA. Like, it has to be, the quantity is there, like, the demand is there, and people buy those boxes because they have that chance of pulling that Zion auto, Job auto, like, whatever it may be.
But then out of those, like, you get 3 out of, say, like, you get a chance you're gonna pull 4 autos out of a product.
Mm-hmm.
Half the times you get maybe one okay auto. You get 2 are trash, and then you pull points.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what happens.
Yeah. I pulled the only auto I pulled out of all the mosaic I broke was a G League player for the Utah Jazz, Mie Oni. Never heard of him. I looked at it, I was like, who even is this?
It's still fun to pull it, though. Like, I love, like, pulling an auto of no one I've ever heard of. I'm like, it's still ink.
Yeah, it is.
I'm
going to keep it. You never know. Yeah. Like, I watched some of his games. Like, he's not bad. So, you never know.
Yeah, he's just in the G League. Wesley Matthews played in the G League. Look at the career he had.
Yeah.
Alex Caruso, G League guy. Look at his career. I mean, real quick before we end it.
Yeah.
The Lakers. Did you see Rondo broke his thumb?
Yep.
Did you see Mario Chalmers wants to play?
No, I did not see that. What?
He tweeted out. He's like, "I'm sitting here ready to be in shape." Like, Caruso's probably like, "Let me just be a starting point guard."
Yeah, I mean, Caruso's not bad. Like, he's definitely hyped to a certain point because, you know,
he
like,
can jump out of the building.
Yeah, that he's definitely hyped, but he's not. I don't know if he can run point. I mean, do they really
just
need
have
a pure
LeBron.
point guard? Like,
You got LeBron.
that's what I
LeBron's
mean.
gonna run point, and then he just has to give the ball to Anthony Davis, and Davis puts it in the hole. Well, you know what, guys? That is all for today's show. Thank you so much for listening to Just Mitchin. Please make sure you like the video, subscribe to our channel, and check out our Twitter, Just Mitchin. Yeah, that's it, at Just Mitchin. I was going to say justmitchin.com. We don't have a website out. Maybe one day we're going to get there. Yeah. We've got some cool ideas coming. Got some giveaways. I'm going to be posting a giveaway probably in the next week, I would say. Check out our Twitter for that. It'll be on Twitter. Check out the Twitter for the giveaway. Get that going. And thank you so much for listening to us. Anything, Abe?
That's it. Look out. Actually, we're going to be putting stuff on Spotify. And
Spotify and wherever you listen
to podcasts.
To your podcast.
I will definitely tweet that out once that does happen, but for now it's going to be YouTube, but this episode might be on Spotify. So.
You might get a listen on Spotify. I mean, who wants to listen to us, but you never know.
All right.
All right, have a good one, guys.